Good morning. It's almost afternoon. Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 670, a delayed edition. No thanks to Charter Spectrum and their internet outage, which we actually were out of internet since late last night, which I was sound asleep. My wife said that I just went upstairs like 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, I saw the blue light on the router. I'm like, hey, the internet's back. And my wife said, yeah, it went out. I was watching TV last night and it went out. So some point late last night, it went out, just popped back on somewhere here within the last 30 minutes or so. So I am back on. I think we take for granted how important the internet is, the connectability that we have. I remember growing up as a kid, and when the pre-internet kids, I think everybody watching this is probably lived pre-internet, judging by my demographics on my YouTube views. But remember back then, back in the pre-internet days when the electricity went out? I grew up in a small town, so electricity going out was pretty common in a small town with overhead wires. And I think a lot of electricity is probably wired underground now. And then when I moved to like the city, we rarely had electricity power going out. But as a kid in a small town, electricity went out like every storm. And it was like, oh, the electricity's out. What are we going to do? You can't watch TV. You have to light a candle to read a book. There was like nothing to do when the electricity went out. Now, if the electricity goes out, no sweat off our back. We've got our phones. We can watch TV on our phones. But now if the internet goes out, like, screw power. Like if the internet goes out, like we can't watch TV, we can't get on our phones, we can't, like, we have to read a book. We have to sort baseball cards. That's what I did this morning. My wife goes, what did you do all morning? And it's like, that's a good question. Because I can't ship, I can't list, I can't even waste time reading Twitter. What do you do when the internet goes out? So my upstairs office is a mess because I've been going through all of the bulk that I picked up, which I want to share a story. I was beaten at my own game. So I cleaned that up, organized. I had a bunch of piles from listing here in the last couple days. So got those all organized, put away into boxes, brought some cards down, did some sorting. So then I sit on the floor to do some sorting from the never-ending boxes from Goodwill, and I go to turn the TV on. Well, it's all wired to the internet, and I don't have internet. So it's like, oh, I guess I'm listening to a podcast. Fortunately, I had enough. I think it's because the podcast I was listening to had already like downloaded. So it wasn't like, because my internet was really slow. My cell data was super slow. Like it wasn't even bringing up. I don't know. I put a delay. I recorded a 60-second video that, hey, I'm delayed, because a lot of people that watch this show are not on Twitter. And so if I tweet something out, hey, I'm late, or hey, it's going to be delayed today. If you're on YouTube, you don't know. It's like, I should probably update something on YouTube. I need to get a little more like, I see some people put polls and like little things. I need to figure out how to do that. So I was like, I'll do a little short 1-minute video. That way people come to my YouTube channel and they're like, oh, okay, that's why he's not on this morning. And I don't even think it updated. I don't think it uploaded. And it was just like, every time I went to open something, a window, like using my cell data, it was just like so slow, probably because everybody in the area was using the cell data. So what do we do without the internet? It throws our worlds upside down. But hey, we've got a good crowd today. I'm surprised and happily surprised. We've got a good chat going. Paige and Deanie Bean, good morning to you. Victor, what is up? Cooter, good morning. Just finished the cleaning lady pre-clean. I'm going to be doing that on Sunday. I'm like, I've got my rec room is just an absolute disaster. And Monday is our cleaning lady day. And so the pre-clean happens on Sunday. And now I woke up to 56 shipping notifications on eBay. And then your internet goes out and it's like, oh, and I was already at like 100 items to ship from yesterday. So sales are picking up. I'll have to take a look at I haven't looked at the numbers yet. Dan, what is up? Good evening to you. John Evans says morning, afternoon, good evening. Yes, good morning to most of you. Good afternoon to John and good evening to Dan. Paige and Deanie B, not that important. We would adapt and build 12 card shops in little bumpkin towns. Let's see. Dan says, Bo and I looking to start organize my going forward listings the way you do it. Can you give a quick overview again on how you do it and where you put the details on the eBay listing? Okay, start organizing. Let's see. Do you mean, and I will tackle this question, do you mean like as far as pulling cards? So are you asking about like custom label SKUs, and when you sell a card, you know where to pull it from? I think that's what you mean. So I'll let you, if you can clarify that, and I'll circle back and I'll share how I do it. Victor says, so is this brunch with Bo? Hey, I like it. Brunch with Bo. It is. And I'm so out of sorts. Like I've already drank my coffee. Now I'm on to my post coffee water. Way behind on shipping. I did one other thing I was able to tackle, even with the internet down. I could scan. So I scanned 100 cards that I'll eventually later today list. So I will do that. Cooter wants to know, what is a book? Those are, oh man, I don't think I have any. Although I will say I do enjoy holding a book as opposed to like a Kindle or an iPad or a phone. But yes, a book. It's words written down on paper that's bound. Did you interview for a cleaning lady? I don't think we've ever interviewed a cleaning lady. We've gone through a few different over the last 8 years. They usually come through recommendations. So this one was a recommendation. My wife has people. She's in real estate, so she's got a guy. She's got a woman. She knows people. You need a painter. We got a guy. One of those. So I think our cleaning ladies were recommended through, I think, one of her another agent in her office. My wife may interview them. I don't know. Let's see. So Dan wants, yes, on sorting and SKUs. So what I do is, let's see. Oh, actually, I have some that I just. So what I do is. This is I'm going to show something that I haven't even installed yet as far as my label SKU. So I do, and I won't tell you the backstory because I've gone through, this is like the fifth iteration. And this way I've found to be the best, most efficient way. So I love these plastic card dividers. These are the tall card dividers from BCW, and you can use like Post-it notes or index cards, but I like these card dividers the best. And I have a label maker that I print the labels. I guess I'm a Brother guy, a Brother P-Touch label maker. I bought this at Costco. It was like $20. And I get the labels. You can buy them on Amazon. So, you can use a Sharpie. That works. I've actually done that to one or two tabs when I ran out of labels. I print that. So this is box 5 tab AA. And this is the first AA I've done. Typically I go box 5 tab A, box 5 tab B, box 5 tab C. And I keep them in 100 75 to 100 I have found is the sweet spot, because you can get good momentum going and listing that amount of cards. But when you go to pull cards, you're not going through 300 cards trying to find the one card that you need to ship. So I keep it between 75 and 100. Sometimes I may only have a pile of 50, or maybe this pile is 130. But 75 to 100, I have found for me is the sweet spot in terms of getting there. No sorting whatsoever. So when I grab a stack of cards, say I list 100 football cards, and I throw them through the scanner and I upload them to Card Dealer Pro, and I make sure they're all accurate. Boom, upload to eBay, and they're in box 5 tab AA, and boom, put them in. So then when somebody buys a 1994 Topps Joe Montana, it's in box 5 tab AA. I just pull it, and there's a stack of cards, and then I go find the 1994 Topps Joe Montana. So that's how I do it. And I go box 5 tab A, box 5 tab B, and then I've sold so many cards out of box 5. Now I'm on to box 5 tab AA and box 5 tab AB and AD. So I'm prepared. I haven't listed cards in these SKUs yet, but I will at some point in the next couple days. So that's how I do it. I know some people do it by row, and here's why I did that at first. Well, not at first, but so here's box 2, row 4, tab E. And the reason that I stopped doing this was because I sold a bunch of cards, and I want to utilize the boxes, so I don't have, you want to put as many cards in a box as possible. You don't want to have a bunch of empty rows, and then, you're not utilizing your space. You're not utilizing your space. So what I found was box 2, row 4, all of a sudden is now in row 3. And actually now I can probably narrow that down. It's going to go into row 2, because it's going to be in row 2. So it became like, okay, this is unnecessary. So that's why I stick to box 5, tab A, tab B. And then if I run out of room, I can go to double letters, AA, AB, AC, so on and so forth. So that's efficient for me. I know some do it by date. Some do it by just random letters. But I think Paul Carl turned me on to the very first SKU method I was using. I wasn't even utilizing the SKU method. I was using it in the title, because I was using, and this was for me in the back end to sort. If I bought a box, $100 bargain box at a card show in January, say in Madison, it was listed as WI01 for Wisconsin January. That way I could track my sales out of that, and I had a spreadsheet. Okay, I spent $100 on this box. Here's what I sold. And I talked about it. If you haven't watched, check out Bench Clear Media. Ty Wilson and I talk about selling efficiencies. One of the questions he asked me is, do you go back and count how much you made on each collection? So, paraphrasing the question. And initially I did, because I wanted to track it. Now it's just a macro. Like, okay, in January I spent X amount on cards and I made Y amount. And that's how I do it today. I use that method of putting it in the title to my very first air quotes SKU method. And so it was A1. And so, okay, this isn't box A1. Well, it's in the title. And all of a sudden I'm looking, it's a 2008 Topps Albert Pujols. Well, I'm in my 2008 pile, because before it was just listed by year. And then as we got more modern in products, it's like, there's no Albert Pujols in 2008. Where in the hell is this card? Oh, let me look at the title. It's A1. So this happened over and over again. I need a better method. That's when I utilized the custom label SKU. And so the first one I think was like 0418 baseball. Actually, it was B010418 baseball for box one and the date that I entered it. And it's like the date is irrelevant, right? Especially when you start listing more and more volume. So, and then that's when I think Carl said, here's what I do: box one, row one, tab A. I did that, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, box one, row 4 is now in row 2. So the row now becomes irrelevant. So box 1, tab A, boom, that's what I do, and that's the most efficient method for me. Let's see. Dan says received a big lot of Menkos yesterday, posted some images on Twitter earlier today, and we'll do a video in the next few weeks. Very nice. Was that a Babe Ruth Menko I saw? That was pretty cool. Cooter's heading to the Dallas Card Show early tomorrow. Just printed my TCDB collection of modern up to 3 pages. TCDB doesn't work well on the phone, and coverage is usually sketchy in the main hall. Yeah, TCDB is kind of a pain on the phone. Jenny is with us. What's up, Jenny? Terry, good morning to you. I assume Uncle Rich is at the show. I bet he is. SD in the house. Any chance you have a video demonstrating the program you use to upload cards to eBay? I did do, and I haven't done one since I've been more efficient with it. But I did do one like the first day that I was playing around with it. Let me see if I can find it in my videos, and I can post the link. Let's see where it was. Was it before the Madison Card Show? Mobile numbers, Palooza. Okay. How long ago was this? Wins and losses, another Goodwill palette. It was before that. Test run. There we go. Test run with Card Dealer Pro. Copy link. Here you go. Test run with Card Dealer Pro. I do need to do, and I talked about this yesterday, I do need to I have a bunch of videos I need to do, but I'm kind of videoed out because I'm way behind on shipping and listing and shipping. I did surpass, though, yesterday. I surpassed 21,000 items listed. And let's see. And so SD asked about Card Dealer Pro, which is what I'm using now to upload to eBay. I'll just show you how fast. And I was using File Exchange and going really fast, really fast on File Exchange. And I track my total. Let's see, total active listings. So tab F. I'm in a spreadsheet. So February 1st. Let's just go back to January. January 1st, I was at 9,657 active listings. So 9,650. February 1st, I was at 9,974. March 1st, 10,647. So I'm cruising along. I'm like a net near 1,000 per month. Then I was only at 10,944 on April 1st, but I was, in Arizona at spring training for a week and a half. May 1st, added about 1,000, actually an exact 1,000, 11,944 on May 1st. June 1st, boom, 12,220 active listings. July 1st, I was up to 14,345 active listings. August 1st, another 2,000, 16,069. Now, from August 1st to September 1st, I had hit 20,000 active listings, and I am just over 21,000. Actually, I'm below 21,000 now because I made a ton of sales overnight. So I'm flirting with 21,000 again. So that's how much faster Card Dealer Pro has been for me. Let's just talk eBay and see where the numbers are at. My impressions are still down, though I did extrapolate the numbers out for the month of September, and I'm still going to have a decent, based on my first week in September on impressions, I'm still going to be above January through June. It looks like I'm tracking a little below August's numbers and far below July's numbers. July, my impressions were crazy high. My page views are down 7%. My sales, though, that's the number that's important because that's money in my pocket. That is up 2% over the last 30 days. And I had another great Thursday. I've been adding a mix. I've been adding hits. Bowman U, Kenny Pickett's been selling. And some others have sold as well. I am loving Bowman U. Like even more, the more I open it, the more I love it. And then the more I sell, even more I love it. So I ripped a blaster yesterday and pulled a image variation, which the odds are pretty long. If only I had a box nearby to look at the odds. What are the odds on the image variations? Let's see. Looking for the image variation. It does not. Let's see. Oh, Bowman U short print variations, 1 in 475 packs. So what's that breakdown to? 7 packs per box. 475 divided by 7. 475 divided by 7 is 67 blasters. So 1 in 67 blasters, you get a short print, and I finally pulled one. I haven't opened 67 blasters. I've probably ripped, I think I have 25. I've probably ripped 40 blasters, maybe close to 50. I did a count. I'm down to like 25 unopened blaster boxes, and I just want to rip. I just want to rip them all. I think I have 4 hobby boxes left. I may have to reach out to my buddy Tom and say, next Madison card show, bring another case, baby. I want another case of that stuff. I love Bowman U. And hopefully the sales keep coming in. The base paper's not moving, but maybe like Ken mentioned yesterday, maybe if I do some player lots, I'll start moving, especially like Kenny Pickett, players like that. Dan says, first card show by me in Syracuse since spring. We'll see John Newman dealing on Sunday. Very nice. I'll be at the Northern Illinois Card Show tomorrow in Rockford, Illinois. I'll have my quarter boxes. I probably won't have anything new from Janesville, but I will have new stuff from the last Rockford show. I have plenty of new inventory to put in the quarter boxes. I just haven't, separated them and decided, where I'm going with it. So I'm still playing catch up on Goodwill. I have listed a bunch from the bulk buys from last weekend in Janesville. So we'll go from there. So tomorrow morning, I'll be tomorrow all day, 9 to 3, Rock Church on Harrison Avenue for the Northern Illinois Card Show in Rockford. Paige and Dini Bean says, loving Bowman U. It's kind of Stockholm syndrome, right? Yeah, it's just it's enveloped me. I was beaten at my own game yesterday. I always talk about, I found this deal. What a deal. What a deal. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at comps and see how badly I got burned. Okay. So here's what happened. One of the bulk boxes that I picked up, and it might've been a common box. And here's the backstory. If you missed it, last Sunday at the Janesville Card Show, one of the dealers, he always gets me a box. Sometimes he has like 6 boxes for me. Well, last weekend he had 7 monster boxes. And I only paid $150 for all 7 boxes. So basically it was one good baseball box, one good football box, one good basketball box. And what I mean by good is it's basically 25-cent boxes. And there's probably some stuff that could go in dollar boxes. And of course, there's always, some hidden. There were like 5 or 6 Ellie De La Cruz first Bowmans paper that I sold immediately, all of them for $2.50 each. So there's stuff like that in the good boxes. And then there were 4 boxes of just like commons, but there were stars. And these would be like dime box stuff at a card show. Like 1990 NBA Hoops Magic Johnson, 91 Fleer Dikembe Mutombo, star players, but it's kind of dime box. But that's perfect for me because I can put those in my eBay store for $1.50 and stuff like that moves. In the basketball box, junk box, common box, I opened it up and I saw a stack of star, like early 80s star basketball cards. And I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. Then I saw a bunch of like 87 Fleer and 88 Fleer, which is not quite junk wax. Somebody had asked a couple of weeks ago, when was junk wax for basketball? And junk wax in basketball started a little later than what we saw in baseball. So the 87, 88 basketball is not really junk wax. There's still some value to it as opposed to those years in baseball. So yesterday, I'm like, I'm gonna do a listing of basketball. And I pulled that stack of 83 and 84 star basketball cards. And I did some quick comps and I looked up a couple cards. It's like they're $5 to $7. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go $2.50 and $3.50 on all these and not pay any attention. And I didn't. And this is, here's what happens when you're listing so much. And this is how I like take advantage of bulk situations. When you have so much bulk coming in, it's like you just want to turn and burn. Like, I'm going to put a good price on these cards just so I can flip them real quick. But that's also how, as a buyer, you can find good deals because dealers just want to get rid of it. And that's why I always say, when you're looking at bargain boxes, check out those bargain boxes that are next to a showcase, especially if a guy has a bunch of like first Bowman Chrome autos, because the base, he may even have like some star first Bowman Chromes in that box. There may be Ellie De La Cruz or, something like that in a quarter box or a 50-cent box, just because they want to get rid of it. They're chasing the autos and the hits. They don't care about the base. And sometimes when you're opening bulk like that, you miss the short prints and the variations. Hello, Ronald Acuna super short print out of the quarter box that sold for $250. That's how you can take advantage of bargain boxes. But I was beaten at my own game, I think. So I listed all of these 83 and 84 star basketball cards for $2.50 and $3.50. They went up. I had run to the post office, and I think I'm sitting at a stoplight, and all of a sudden my eBay notifications are just machine gun notifications on my eBay app. All 24 of these star basketball cards I listed sold within 5 minutes. And I'm like, uh-oh. When that happens, that typically means you're underpriced. So, and I did, it's like, oh man. And I did what I did what you shouldn't do. Look at the comps. Just ignore it. Be happy with the $50 sale and move on. But let's just see. I know there was an Alton Lister rookie card. I think it came up as like an XRC. I don't think I comped this one yesterday. So let's see. The sold on Alton Lister, the Reds are coming up. And I don't know anything about star basketball, so there may have been like $100 card in there. I have no idea. Let's see. So that's 83, 84. Huh. Let's just type in star Alton list because mine's not popping up in the sold listings. That's not good. Uh-oh. Let's see. It's still not popping up. Was it Alton Lister? Let's just show off what I pulled. There was Reggie Theus, Jamal Wilkes, Maurice Lucas, Maurice Cheeks, Gilmore in English, Bill Lambier, George Gervin, Moses Malone. Oh, I bet that Moses Malone's worth something. Robert Parrish. So it is the red. So it sold one sold last week for $10. So I think I listed it for $3.50. So they got a good deal. David Thompson, they're all like all stars. Let's look up another one. So $10. It's not like it was $100 card, so that's good. So I don't feel as bad. Let's look up Star Bill Lambier. But see, and that's what I was listing so much volume that it's like I looked at a couple comps and it's like, okay, I think 250 is a good price. They'll move. I didn't think they'd move. Okay, so I listed my Bill Lambier for 350. That's the last comp that's showing. Looks like $20. Well, that's so the comps are all over the place. One sold for $20 and then one sold for $4.50. One sold for $3.76, another $5, and that's probably one I comped. So, okay, I don't feel too bad. I left some money on the table, but I didn't, and see, that's the goal. When I say I like pricing things low and it's volume, this is the exact scenario that pays off because I didn't sell 24 cards to 24 sellers. I sold 24 cards to one seller and made a $60 sale. So that's key. Maybe I left a few bucks on the table, but what if I sold that Bill Lambier that kind of varied? What if I put $5 on it? Well, that's basically the comp. And I had it for $3.50, which is, less than, little less than comps. And it sold right away in a bulk deal. Whereas if I had it for $5, might not have been as attractive to somebody wanting to buy all of them. So there is some, where maybe I got beat at my own game, but maybe that's a win in my book because I sold all 24 cards in 5 minutes of listing. And again, $60 sale. I paid $150 for all 7 of those boxes. So I made a third of my money back in 5 minutes with that 24 card sale. So that's a win. That's a win in my book. Yeah, did I leave a few bucks? I feel better now that I looked at a couple comps more in depth where, I left a couple bucks on the table, but I think that's worth it to make it in one sale as opposed to piecing out 24 cards and, shipping to 24 different buyers or 20 different buyers or whatever the case may be. So, I was beating at my own game, but sometimes it's, that's how you get ahead and chip away at those bulk buys. Rich, what is up? Good morning to you. Your internet issues mean I actually get to see you live for a change. Hey, can't beat that. It's sometimes I wonder, like I'm able to when I go on later, I'm able to see other people are able to jump in the chat, and it's kind of cool to see. But I also like being, others, 7:00, I'm on. But it is kind of nice. Throw a curveball. Well, Charter Spectrum threw a curveball at me with the internet issues. Kyle says, congrats on the 21,000 listings. Got the Jim Dwyer card yesterday. Very cool card. I like adding those types that bring back childhood memories. Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. There's Paul Carl Cards. Good morning to you. SD comps everything. I don't have time. If I comped everything, I would not have 21,000 listings. And it's just, losing a couple bucks. And it kind of just goes back to the Star story where, could I have made a few extra bucks? Yeah, but I would have spent that time shipping. It wouldn't have been in a one transaction. It might have been 20 transactions or 24 transactions. So I comp things that in this case, I did comp. I didn't comp every single card, but I comped, okay, Bill Lambier, George Gervin. Okay, if they're selling for $5, Reggie Theus is probably not a $5 card. That's when I comp things, that's kind of like on something like 83 Star. I'm not going to go through and comp every single card. I'm going to comp Bill Lambier, George Gervin, Moses Malone, Robert Parrish, and then the rest is just going to be okay. If the highest, but one of those could be a short print. But when it all comes down to it, it's kind of like hockey and soccer. That's why I don't list hockey and soccer because I don't want to comp every single card. And it's like, well, you're putting them in the quarter box, but it's like in the quarter box, they're just there. It's if somebody finds a good card, good for them. But I don't want to take the time because I've done that with soccer. And it's like when you comp 20 cards, it takes significant time, and they're all $1.50 cards. And then I put them for $1.50 in my eBay store and they don't sell. And so now it's like soccer, hockey, quarter box. I'm not going to spend time on you. Victor's got to go. Meeting is calling. Have a great day. You as well. Happy Friday. DR says the PSA news with Star Basketball being able to be graded with them is probably causing a short-term rush. They are in the news for sure. Who knows what they will be worth in weeks? Like Steve Miller said, take the money and run, right? Cooter says, just got panhandled by the guy in the car next to me at the gas pump. Things are getting ridiculous, right? We have a bad panhandling problem here on the west side in Madison. They're at every intersection, like over by the mall. There's a panhandler at like every stoplight. It's freaking ridiculous. And they passed like a law, and they just don't do anything about it, which it's very annoying. Anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. There was something else I wanted to touch on. Oh, I did. Dallas Card Show. Cooter brought it up. He's going to Dallas. Uncle Rich is probably there. Others are probably there. I think I've seen the most buzz in the last 12 hours, 24 hours about the Dallas Card Show that I have in several months, which is awesome to see that there's still that buzz around the hobby and around card shows. And just from my personal views from the Madison Card Show, from last week's Janesville Card Show, and hopefully tomorrow's show in Rockford. My show in Rockford last month in August was the best show by far from a sales standpoint that I've had in the last year and a half, including the boom of 2021, those boom months of spring and summer, when card shows when we were able to have card shows again after we were, locked into our homes during COVID. So it's great to see there's still that buzz because there's all this, the hobby's down. Well, it's down from when everybody was stuck at home, but it's still far above where it was at in 2018 and 2019. So to see that buzz continue and see like all of the positive reviews that I've seen from Dallas, breakout cards, Ryan Nolan. What I wanted to bring up just this morning, he tweeted, no spotting fakes today. Sorry guys, the sale took all my time yesterday. We sold 4 boxes of slabs. Most cards I've sold at one time. I don't know. That might have been a Twitter sale, but I know Ryan's, if he's not in Dallas, he's in route. Yes, he's on a plane right now, it appears. So, okay, so he's not quite there yet. But it was the other Ryan Cards LLC said I think he sold the most cards he's ever sold at a show. So there's just so much buzz. So I'm excited to see it. SD says, Chrono Card, one click, it gives comps. I understand not comping most paper base. I don't typically post stuff like that. And Card Dealer Pro also has a comp, and I'm not on StreamYard, but and I really don't use this because and I haven't used Chrono Card that much. But with let's see, I'm going to go into a batch here. Let's just open the batch with the star card. So let's go to, what did I comped out the Bill Lambier, and it was kind of all over the place, but $5. So I can go in and it shows the average card value, $13.02. But when I looked, a lot of those sales were $5. So I think it's skewing from it's skewing like the graded. So the high is $41.95, so that's certainly a slab. The low was $1.79. So and who knows what that could be. So you get, and then you can click I wish I was on StreamYard. I could show you this. You can click on eBay recent sales and it brings up. So mine shows as a $3.50 sale from yesterday. It has some ComC sales, $1.69 to $6.29 plus their shipping. One sold $3.25 plus $4.50 shipping, so that's $7.75. There's one for $6.50. And it also has and there's a Julius Erving that throws in. So it's a little skewed. There's a Larry Bird, there's some Robert Parrish, and I don't know, is that part of so that's okay, that's not part of that's results matching fewer words. So even though it's not completely accurate, it says the average card value on this Bill Lambier star card is $13.02. The last, we've got to exclude mine, the last 1, 2, 3 cards showing comps average about $6. So it's not completely accurate. Paul says, I've started an experiment with variation listings. Every time I comp some modern card parallels, typically I see the variation listings pop up. Some of those do major volume. I tested it in the past with 90s basketball, but very slow sales. The newer releases fly. Fly for others. I'm just starting to see if I can do the same. And I will echo the slow sales on older stuff, and I will say, I bet if you the closest to release you do a variation listing, the most sales you'll get. It's much like, I don't know if you're familiar with selling on sport lots. When I was ripping and flipping cases in 2016 and 2017, I would have a case of Topps Heritage pre-ordered, and I know that I'm going to get X amount, say 10 base cards of every card, and I would load those up, and I would usually, just in case there's bad collation, I would put like six cards per base card, and I'd price them at whatever, and those cards would fly. Back then it was a little more, Topps would put the checklist out like clockwork the Wednesday before a Wednesday release, so a week ahead of time. And then by like Friday or Saturday, Sport Lots had that checklist already loaded, and so you were able to preload cards of a new release. And I made like 40% of my case price back selling commons on Sport Lots. And I think that's going to be the same. I mean, look at how many cards fly on release week of different releases. They just fly, and then 2 weeks later, it's just kind of it's a slow trickle down. Those first few days, it's like boom, 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 sale, sale, sale. A week later, it's a little slower. 2 weeks later, a little slower yet. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it's kind of dead. So with variation listings, I would try it on like brand new products, and you'll see immediate results. I don't like variation listings because I can load cards onto eBay faster. Now, if there's a way to hook up Card Dealer Pro to do variation listings, there might be. I don't know. I haven't played around with it, but the traditional way of listing in variations takes me far longer to list than it does where I can pop out 100. I can upload 100 in 10 minutes, using Card Dealer Pro, where it may take me, a half an hour because you have to do all that typing. In the variation, you have to create the variations, and it might take a half an hour to an hour to do 100. So that's why I don't do. A lot of people say, well, you have so many cards, why don't you do variation listings? And that's why. So Paul says you can do the variation listings with Excel. I export my scans with Chrono Card. I'll look into that. And see. I have not tried that. I'm not educated enough to speak on it. But in the traditional sense, that's why I don't do it in the traditional way of, on the website, on the eBay website listing. So I'm at 45 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up because I'm behind. It's already 10 o'clock. I've got a lot of shipping to do and a card show tomorrow. So I'll get even further behind on shipping tomorrow. So come out and see me in Rockford, Illinois tomorrow, 9 to 3 at the Rock Church on Harrison Avenue for the Northern Illinois Card Show. The next Madison Card Show is Saturday, September 24th at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. Ken says, quitting just as I get here. I know. You should have saw my post earlier, I guess. And then the Midwest Premier, a 250 table card show in Loves Park, which is about an hour west of O'Hare Airport, right on I-90 near Rockford. That's October 15th and 16th at the Indoor Sports Center, Loves Park, Illinois. 250 tables on nice, comfortable, cushy indoor soccer turf. And there's a bar restaurant that overlooks the show floor. So that's going to be a fun one. October 15th and 16th, Loves Park, Illinois, for the Midwest Premiere. Victor, thanks for having brunch with me. Ken, I'm sorry I'm going. Dan says, time to put the baby down for a nap. Have a great weekend. You too. Back to coaching the kids' soccer team. Awesome. So I will not be live tomorrow morning. So I'll be at the card show tomorrow en route. So I will be back live again Sunday morning, probably around 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. Central. I'll review. Let's see. Rich is in Tempe, Arizona tomorrow for a card show with the guest, the Soup Nazi. Interesting. So I will be live Sunday morning to review the Rockford card show. So have a great weekend. We'll catch you Sunday, and have a good day.